Snyderheads are devout Catholics who pride themselves on speaking out about public concerns. They were speaking broadly and never targeted Murray Lance Corporal Matthew Snyder or his father. This funeral simply gave Westboro Baptist Church a platform in which to protest peacefully. Would you like to add anything?
I am doing the Lord's work.
The Lord's work, ma'am. That'll be all.
These radical Catholics invaded the funeral of Mr. Snyder's son to protest against the moral decline of U.S. and homosexuality in the military.
Homosexuality is a sin.
Order.
Adam and Eve,
Order.
not Adam and Steve.
Order. Order.
Let my client talk.
Order in my courtroom.
Are you done yet? However, instead they emotionally battered my client, who has just gone through the loss of his son, defending our country. They have shown no remorse and deserve to be held accountable.
In the case of Phelps v. Snyder, we rule in favor of Phelps.
In regards to the Snyder v. Phelps case, there is one question to be asked. Does the First Amendment protect people from tort liability when they picket a military funeral? The Supreme Court ruled in favor of Phelps at the Westboro Baptist Church in an 8-1 decision. The reason being that the First Amendment right provides special protection to speech on public issues. A court must look into the content, form, and context of the speech to determine whether it is of public or private concern. In this case, the context of the picketer's speech was related to the broad public issues such as the moral conduct of the U.S. and homosexuality in the military. While the context of the speech occurred at Snyder's funeral, it cannot be concluded that the speech was a personal attack on Matthew Snyder. In sum, the picketers addressed the broad public issues on public property in a peaceful manner without disturbing the funeral service. According to the First Amendment, it protects the picketers from tort liability for their speech so that such discussion, even in hurtful or outrageous types, is not stifled from public debate. Joseph Frederick is just your average teenager who wants to speak his mind. He did this by creating a sign and displaying it at a local event. Miss Morse saw this sign and did not appreciate it, so she confiscated it from my client. By doing this, she took away my client's First Amendment right of speech, which should not be allowed. In America, one of our most important rights is that we have our right of freedom to speech, and Miss Morse took that away from my client, Mr. Frederick.
My client, Deborah Morse, simply tries to run a professional, well-rounded school where she should be able to host a school event without having to worry about her students promoting drug use. Everyone should be allowed to speak their mind and not have their First Amendment rights taken away, which isn't what we're doing. Mr. Frederick was at a school event where school speech is applicable, meaning the school has the right to confiscate and punish speech if they believe it's promoting harmful activities like drug use.
In the case of Frederick v. Morse, we rule in favor of Morse.
During a school-sponsored event, Joseph Frederick held up a banner with the help of his friends that read "Bong Hits for Jesus," a reference to smoking marijuana. Principal Deborah Morse took the banner away and suspended Frederick for approximately 10 days. She cited the school's policy against the display of materials that prohibits illegal drug use. Frederick sued Morse under 42 U.S.C. 1983, the federal civil rights statute, alleging a violation of his First Amendment right of freedom. The district court ruled in favor of Morse. The court held that even if the principal were in violation, she qualified for immunity from lawsuit. The U.S. Court of Appeals in the Ninth Circuit cited Tinker v. Des Moines Independent Community School District, which extends the First Amendment protections to students. The U.S. Supreme Court concluded the case with a 5-4 ruling in favor of Morse. Reason being that the First Amendment does not prevent educators from suppressing student speech that is viewed as promoting illegal drug use. Oh my God, there's dogs!